I started wrestling. I was about 15. I did 1 year of wrestling. I hated it when I was 8 years old. My dad made me do it. Actually, I'm glad he made me do it because he won me some fights in junior high, or something. Double leg takedown. You win the fight when you're in 6th grade or something like that. But yeah, I did 15, 16. I wasn't really super. I was like a divisional champ in high school wrestling in California. I was not state champion. But I found my athletic ability, I'd say around 22. I mean, I was just kicking everyone's butt, in the local California scene. But 19 is when I started. I did Sambo for about 2 years, from 17 to 19, and I overlapped that with Jiu-Jitsu. A lot of people think I'm a Sambo expert. I took two-time the national championship in Sambo, but I'm much more proud of my accomplishments in Jiu-Jitsu, And when I get down to it, I still have some takedowns when I really try. It could be from Sambo, it could be from wrestling, it could be from Jiu-Jitsu. I have my own little way of doing things, but definitely 19 years old, I started it and I got right into it. And I didn't like the idea, even though I respect it, of pinning someone on their back. I want to finish, I want someone to say, I give up. So it's like a submission to me is the same as a knockout. It's finishing the fight. And that to me is the art. I think that's interesting. I think that's what people want to see. Points are a big part of it, but submission is like the end. It's like boxing sets up the knockout. People have to understand. Some people will really respect the boxing part, but most people want to see finishes. Boxing sets up the finish, of course. You don't just go up there swinging, but in the same sense, I use the positions, I use the points to get the submission. That's my goal every time. It's changing the footlocks, it's changing submissions. I'm a submission fighter. I'm not a point fighter. So if I play the point game, I may win, I may lose. I do get positioned before submission, but I favor the submission. I'll dive for submissions. I'll give my arm for a submission to try to go for a submission to my opponent, and that's how my training was. My strength and conditioning actually, I don't know. I'm a big fan of actually just wrestling harder, wrestling more, and doing more jiu-jitsu, and doing more boxing. I think that's more important. It's like a runner should run a lot, in my opinion. And if you get too much into supplementary training, you should do a little bit of it. I think that you're walking away from the sport, and if I love the sport, I'd want to do the sport more. If I don't like running, I shouldn't be a running sport. If I don't like fighting, and I want to lift weights all day, that's fine. There's all kinds of guys who are stronger than me in the weight room, but they're not going to be usually stronger than me on the mat, and I have good functional strength. I know I do, for sure. Yeah, I do, but I do with a human body weight. So when other guys get tired from training and want to lift weights, I'll do more throws on an opponent. Matter of fact, if you get a human body weight that's your weight and start just lifting it, I mean, you can get incredibly strong just from that. It's amazing because that's what you deal with. I don't deal with a bar that doesn't move. I deal with something that moves, and so I think that's how you get functional. If you, also the floor moves. I move on the floor, but things are not stable. So that's, I think, a big part of functional training, and it's hard to get that with a weight that's not a human body weight. So that's a big part of my function. Yeah, I use human body weights more and throw it around and keep training jiu-jitsu, keep doing wrestling. And also, like boxing, if I just hit a bag all day, the bag's not moving, I don't think I'll be a good boxer probably. You need to mix things up that makes it functional. Of course, hitting the bag makes it harder, but that's only one aspect of striking. And the same thing, if you do weights, you're getting stronger, but you're building only one facet, one side of your training. I think that's gets overlooked sometimes. I'm not saying it doesn't have a place, I'm just saying it's overly done, and I think that people should be on the mat more and less in the weight room. That's all. an ideal time, I would train 2 or 3 times a day, but it's not about how many hours, it's because that's quantity. I look at quality. If you can train hard and good and get really good reps and really good drills, really good training or technique, even in 30 minutes with the right person, you're going to be more tired with that person who pushes you hard than you would by 3 hours with people who can't push you. So it's not about hours or time. It's not even something you can touch. Matter of fact, a lot of my friends, my good friends, by the way, they're really into stopwatch. Boom, this perfect amount of time. And they laugh at me because it's like a joke, a mutual joke between us. Like I'll say, all right, 2 minutes, and I'll just say go, and maybe it'll be a minute and a half, maybe it'll be 2 minutes and a half. It's never going to be exactly the same time. Just at the top of my head, I'll say time, I'll say go, I'll say time. I'm not so concerned about the time. And now when I get close to fight time, I have to start worrying about that. And that's why you have a coach in your corner yelling the time for you. But it's not a big concern to me in training because I don't train for hours, I don't train for less than an hour, I don't train for 5 hours. And some people exaggerate and say they train for 80 hours a week and whatever. Even if you're in the gym 80 hours a week, you're going to be exhausted, just even if you're watching jiu-jitsu. So it's not about that for me. It's about quality training, not quantity training. That's a big thing for me. I used to have this idea that you have to be like, I want to kill my opponent, you try to get mad at my opponent or stare him down, and I don't know. I'm completely opposite than that right now. You just try to go very calm, and matter of fact, you don't know what's going to happen. You just don't know what's going to happen. And so a lot of the guys I see that go, yeah, I'm going to kick his ass, and when people ask me, so you're going to win, right? I'm like, that's not even something you should, it's an unimportant question to ask. I just want to worry about my performance, and when I focus on a positive performance, I usually do win. I usually do have a very good day, and usually I do walk away with my hand raised. And it's not about being mad, it's about focusing on what I am doing in the moment, and that's it. What am I doing at the moment? And when you're training, that's in your moment, but when you're fighting, that's in your moment. It's not about what I'm doing in 2 minutes from now. So before your fight, you're thinking, of course it's on your mind, but you can psych yourself out and your adrenaline can go up and down, and you can worry about that. But you're not fighting right now, you're fighting in 2 minutes, you're fighting in 10 minutes. And you can also worry during the fight what you did last round. These are all things that can really cause a lot of performance problems. So in the moment, you gotta focus on that. And if that's your moment, being mad, I think that takes away from you actually. I see a lot of guys mad, angry, I don't think it helps them.